The Voigtländer Nokton 25mm f0.95 for micro four thirds was the largest aperture prime lens ever on my kit, made for the smaller MFT format with impressive shallow depth of field capabilities. Part of a 4-lens lineup, it offers the equivalency to a full-frame 50mm lens and the same overall look, a single subject in focus on your frame and the background completely out of focus. But the f0.95 apertures offers over one stop of advantage compared to the f1.4 lenses, and it is capable of impressive low light results, great for nighttime street photography or creative effects. At 60 by 70mm of 435 grams of only metals and glass, the first thing we notice on the Nokton 25 MFT is the all-metal build, made for a lifetime of photography. Smaller due to the MFT format, but longer than the usual 25mm focal length would suggest, the idea is to allow for excellent precision to deal with the extreme aperture, here portable and relatively easy to use. Make no mistake, these all-manual lenses do demand knowledge in exposure and practice in focusing, all made fragile as there is no room for impacts from the external barrel to the optics. But it's a pleasure to use, as we're used to with Cosina lenses, and with straightforward usability. At the rear, the manual focusing ring is all metal, non-rubberized and plenty slippery when using with sweaty hands. It offers about 270 degrees from the minimal focusing distance to the infinity, impossible to be used with agility for action shots. But this is due to the precision required to nail the f0.95 depth of field and expected to the user. This is not your everyday autofocus prime. At the front, the aperture ring goes from f0.95 to f16 with hard and soft clicks, removed from the Mark II lens made for video recording. It operates the mechanical 10 straight blades aperture that feels smooth and precise and again, easy to use. But it doesn't send EXIF data to the camera, so you have to pardon the absence of exposure data on this review. It's also bad for some flash metering. But overall, it's all easy to use. All MFT cameras offer live view. You simply select the aperture considering the scene brightness and desired depth of field and focus. It's that simple. Finally, at the front, the 52mm metal filter thread is fixed and supports polarizers. The box supplies it with a screw-tie metal lens hood that itself adds another larger 67mm filter thread, both with its own caps. And all the lens markings are engraved, made not to fade after generations of use. Overall, it's very premium and precise, as the price suggests, but nonetheless easy to use. A highlight on every kit, from options from 10 to 42mm, all of the same awesome f0.95 aperture. With an 11 elements in 8 groups optical formula, sporting one high refraction piece, what the Nokton 25mm f0.95 MFT lens delivers optically is interesting. Plenty of softness and aberrations, yes, but a pleasing overall look that is hard to find on most micro four thirds lenses. It is simply a match made in heaven. A relatively long focal length paired to a very large aperture, and you can render on the smaller MFT format the same look from large aperture primes offered on the full frame format. It is gorgeous to isolate your subject from the background with the maximum f0.95 aperture, just like the f1.2 or f1.4 lenses, for dreamlike composition on a portable MFT camera, great for shooting stills or filming documentary movies. While wide open, yes, the images lack any pin-sharp details from large format prints, being paired to a lack of contrast and overall blooming, not to mention loads of axial chromatic aberration. The files are pleasing nonetheless. That's why we purchased this lens to begin with. What is interesting is stopping down a single stop to f1.4 and being presented with leaping resolution. Just like any other prime lens, you can get sharp details from it after all. This performance is great for travel or street photography that will be published online, all from a portable and easy-to-use package, a step ahead full-frame primes that already cost a fortune at f1.4. Lateral chromatic aberrations are invisible due to the near-perfect double Gauss formula, and so is the geometric distortion. It's all expected from a prime. But the bokeh could be a little more pleasing, turning to green and purple axial aberrations on highlights that explode around the subject. A desired look, yes, but better delivered by larger format lenses that render more pleasing bokeh. And that's the idea of this extreme f0.95 aperture lens: flexibility under low light, for creative images and high resolution when top down, the best of both worlds. So it's highly recommended for those seeking this kind of imagery, and somewhat exclusive on the market, thus totally worth it. So if shallow depth of field is your thing, look no further. Just add it on your kit, and nice shooting!